concept of eternal boyhood. So he wrote Peter Pan, the story of
pedophile.
Stayed young forever.
Pedophile.
It was a celebration of childhood. The story was
pedophile.
What happens when someone is so terrified growing up that they will do anything to stop it. The story began with Peter flying through the streets of London, searching for kids to take to Neverland.
Rob, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
Where are we going? To Neverland.
Neverland, you think that got something to do with Michael Jackson? Why he named it that?
He promised them a world with no rules, no parents.
Same, you scared of the world too.
Children arrived.
I ain't gonna look at my man's name though.
But Peter had a secret reason for bringing them. He was building an army. Peter Pan had enemies.
What an army?
There's actually a perpetual war going on between pirates and these lost boys.
He needed soldiers for this war.
So Peter is luring these children to come fight as child soldiers in his army.
Well, that's wild as shit.
For fun, but they ended up battling pirates. The pirates appeared in Disney's version too, but there was one huge difference. In Disney's story, Peter fought the pirates without trying to hurt them. But in the original, Peter slaughtered pirates without hesitation, and he expected the kids to do the same. But that wasn't the only horror in Neverland. Peter didn't want adults there. Neverland was meant to be a land of eternal youth. But children can't stop themselves from growing, and when they did, Peter dealt with them. Here's a quote.
So you telling me he brought niggas there, and then when they grew the fuck up, he killed them?
Against the rules, Peter thins them out. Thins them out was a polite way of saying
Killing them. You smoked them. Peter smoked they boots.
And that's the trick of
Peter
Neverland.
Pan's,
Is the reason you don't age in Neverland is either because the
sociopath.
pirates kill you or Peter does.
In Peter's twisted mind, he was protecting the magic of childhood by any means necessary.
Yeah,
When
nah,
magic
he-
was
crazy.
finished, Peter did more. He simply flew back to London to find replacements, and the cycle started again. Disney knew this part of the story, but they hid it. They turned the villain into a hero and made Peter Pan a beloved childhood.
So
character.
Peter Pan was
The creator
child
of this next
trafficking.
cartoon later regretted.
It wasn't nothing to do with sex. He was just child trafficking
Winnie
for
the
because
Pooh
he was a gang
massive.
leader.
The franchise
Basically.
made more than
Okay,
$80
cool.
billion. That money came from books, toys, t-shirts, and even potty chairs.
Not Winnie the
Behind the
Pooh.
soft and cuddly
Not Pooh Bear.
dark story. A story that ruined
R.I.P.
Adrian
my man
Man's
Pooh
life
Bear.
and ripped his family apart. The story begins with a
Not
writer
this
named
one, my
Alan
romance.
Milne.
Alexander Milne was rather successful writer even before the first poems and books about Pooh saw the light.
Alan had a son named Christopher Robin. Alan adored his little boy. On Christopher's first
Christopher
birthday,
looked crazy.
Alan
Fuck
wanted
you
a
talking about?
teddy bear. At first, Christopher called the bear Edward, and he visited
Edward?
the London Zoo
Whoa.
and saw a Canadian black bear named Winnie. After that, little Christopher decided to rename his bear Winnie. The Pooh part came from Swan he liked. That teddy bear became Christopher's best friend. He carried it everywhere. Soon, Christopher collected more stuffed animals.
That
There
teddy
was
bear
a donkey, a pig, a tiger, and more. Alan watched his son play with those toys and got inspired. He began writing stories about a boy named Christopher Robin and his stuffed animals. In 1926, the first book was published. It was titled Winnie the Pooh.
Alright, so what did Winnie the Pooh do wrong?
Featuring all those characters. There was Winnie the Pooh and
Pooh
Piglet
ugly
and
as shit.
Claw and Tinker.
The book was an instant hit. Kids wanted
Ain't that
more.
shit
So
about,
in 1928, Alan
emotions
released the
and
second
shit?
book, The House at Pooh Corner.
That's what I
Alan
heard.
thought his son would be proud to see himself in
I don't know,
stories.
though.
But the reality was very different. Winnie the Pooh became a curse for Christopher. Christopher was 8 when the second book came out. The stories made him famous, but not.
Oh my god. YouTube gonna get their motherfucking money. They do not care.
A good way. Kids in school mocked them. They sang poems from books. They teased him for playing with stuffed animals. They called him a baby. Christopher was miserable. Soon he hated his own name. It was so easy to connect him to Christopher Robin from books. By the time he turned 18, he blamed his dad for his horrible childhood. Christopher felt used, like his father stole his childhood for profit.
Felt that his father got to where he was by climbing on top of his infant shoulders, by exploiting his childhood.
Christopher joined the military. He thought serving his country would make people see him differently. But even in the army, soldiers mocked him because of Winnie the Pooh. After the war, Christopher tried to live a quiet life. He gave up all rights.
Tell me this
to
nigga
Winnie
killed
the
himself.
Pooh. Mary moved to the countryside and opened up a
They still
store
look crazy.
shop.
Forget to take out the
There,
trash.
people connected him to Winnie. Soon, people weren't visiting his bookshop to buy books. They wanted to meet.
That shit so sad. Change your name, fuck nigga.
The worst part was his relationship
Right
with
behind
his
you.
parents. They barely
Make
spoke.
that deep.
In 1956, his father Alan passed away. Christopher did not attend the funeral.
Corny.
Before Alan passed,
Corny
he
as
hated
shit.
his regret. He wished he never created
He a
Winnie the Pooh,
dickhead.
but it was too late. The damage was already done. Christopher spent the rest of his life as a bookseller. He was remembered by
Corny
locals
as
as a
hell.
kind man. Christopher Robin couldn't escape his stolen identity. People wouldn't
Ain't nobody
stop
steal your
connecting him to a
identity.
character
What's
he
stolen?
wanted nothing to do with. And in
Change
a way,
your
I
name.
know that feeling, forced to a lesser extent. A few years ago, someone found my private data online and used it to threaten me. I tried removing my information from every shady website I could find, but there were just too many. Besides, sell your data to whoever pays them. And the wildest part to me is that it's actually illegal for them to do this. But at the same time, if you ask them to remove your information,
Alright, bro,
they are
nobody asked you
required
about
by
none of
law.
this shit.
That's where today's sponsor, Aura, comes in. Aura
I
searches
guess they
data
gotta get their bread too. Yeah, no sponsors, no sponsor. I don't know fuck what he talking about. Ain't no sponsors. Ain't no sponsor. Ain't no free money. We don't know them. We do not know them. We do not know them. No promotion.
Your name, you'll get notified immediately.
I just got a spider.
Oh, make sure you pick that thing up. And I normally don't kill them.
Huh?
I normally don't kill them.
I just got it. Isn't
I kill the bees, not the spiders.
Well, isn't
Alright, go ahead. Ain't no free promotion. We ain't doing that shit. I'm poor. I'm trying to come up, man.
Intense backstories ever tied to a cartoon. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh my god.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a wild idea. It was about 4 turtles trained as ninjas who were fighting crime, and their dad was a giant
your
rat.
favorite?
It sounded ridiculous, but it became one of the most popular animated series.
I ain't watching
television
nothing on
history.
niggas'
I used to watch it all
I
the
know,
time.
because with the stick
Turtles
and the purple
started
one,
as
that was me,
cartoon
boy.
characters. Their
But I like the blue
original
colors,
form
but
was
I took the purple just I want black niggas with a stick.
to see how far it come.
God.
We go back to 19.
I'd have been jabbing niggas in
The
the
year the
lip.
Turtles were born. It started as a joke. In 1983, 2 artists were brainstorming, and one sketched something ridiculous.
Easton whips up a sketch to try and make Laird laugh. It's a turtle with nunchucks strapped to his arms. Laird grabs a piece of paper and does his own rendition.
The joke didn't stay a joke. They turned it into a comic book called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Although the sketches were funny, the comic itself was brutal. From the first issue, the violence was uncomfortable.
In Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, the Turtles were basically hitmen determined to get
They
Shredder.
always talk about
Contact Shredder was their
brutal,
enemy.
like,
The comic, the
brutal
Turtles cornered him
Batman,
on
Superman, all
they
them.
proceeded to
They
hurt him
fighting
and
fucking
them.
crime.
They next made it even darker. After
not no
killing Shredder, the Turtles gave him a
tournament,
sword
ain't
and
gonna
told him to finish the job.
Knock down points. No,
Shredder refused.
trying to save the world, fella.
The Horde
Oh,
did
whoop
not.
Cuz ass,
Another
man, what
issue,
you
they
listen
pulled
to?
a blade.
Remember that shit.
Another time they drowned someone in a fountain. They also used swear words all the time. One reader said they
It
were
was
so much
teenagers.
heroes as they were a bunch of mutant ninja assassins. How could someone pick up this
Teenage
comic book
Mutant
and
Ninja
go,
Assassins,
"Hey,
that would've been
great,
tough.
lighthearted Saturday
That would've been
cartoon
tough.
is Beyond me. And it wasn't just the Turtles. Nearly every major character in the comic was unnecessarily aggressive. There was a robot that chewed rats alive. The artist showed every detail, bones cracking and all. Then there was Casey Jones, one of the Turtles' allies. He took down his enemies with a hockey stick. Every page
Casey was
leaded
lit.
into violence
Fuck, that's
that
come
was
out.
hidden. So how did anyone think these turtles belonged in a kids cartoon? In 1987, a company wanted to sell Ninja Turtle action figures, but there was a problem. The comics were way too graphic. To make the toys marketable, turtles had to be cleaned up. So an animation studio stepped in. They made a cartoon that turned the assassins into kid-friendly heroes.
Ninja pizza? What do you know? Rock, dudes. Do you realize what
Rock,
this is?
The tone shifted from dark crime to playful action.
Let's show them the turtles know how to party.
Even today, fans who read the original comics are shocked by how violent and weird the series was. Up next is a story that fits the exact opposite of a happily ever after. The Little Mermaid. Disney's Little
Yeah, that's
Mermaid
what I wanna know.
symbolized in
Fuck
the
you talking
line,
about.
true love
That don't
always
make
wins.
sense.
The main character, Ariel, got everything she wanted. She became human, married the prince, and enjoyed her life. But the original tale from 1836 was the opposite. The Little Mermaid was miserable throughout the story, and in the end, she passed away sad and alone. The original begins
I
just
believe
like
in
this.
mermaids.
A young mermaid saves
I
the prince
believe
from
in
drowning. She falls
mermaids.
in love with him, and she wants
They
to
are
leave the sea
real.
to
What
live
do you
on the land
appreciate?
with the prince. But the problem is obvious. As a mermaid, she doesn't have legs, which means she can't move on land.
Whole time
The
she
only
riding
option
around
is
with
to go
Nemo.
to the sea witch for help.
He just
The witch
grew
makes
up.
her
That's
an
why
offer.
his
They
dad
have
can't
a
find him.
saying that you will give her a potion which needs to be drunk at the shore before sunrise. It will give her legs, but it will come with excruciating.
How do you say
That's like that Shrek shit.
No, say. Repeat after me. No lo sé.
That's all that remind me of. That remind me of Shrek.
I'm tired. Estoy cansado.
The mermaid will become human, but she will lose her voice. She will never sing or speak again. And every step she takes will feel like walking on glass. That's not even the worst part of the deal.
I wouldn't do that shit.
Doesn't marry you, you will not get your soul. And the morning after he marries another, you will die and become sea foam.
In other words, if
why the fuck would I do that
else,
shit?
The mermaid will pass away the very next day. Blinded
That's
by
corny
love,
as
the
hell.
mermaid accepts. She drinks the potion. When she wakes up on shore, she has legs, but the pain is real. Every step feels like walking on broken glass. Still, she endures it. She has one goal: win the prince's love before it's too late. The mermaid eventually finds the prince. They become friends, but because she has no voice, she cannot speak to him. She can't tell him she was the one who saved his life. The prince believes another princess.
They ain't got paper?
That misunderstanding
She couldn't write that shit down?
Soon, the prince announces his engagement.
Don't nobody know sign language.
For the Little Mermaid, that is her death sentence.
You don't got cryptics where you
Wedding
from?
eventually
Niggas ain't been to
takes place.
prison?
As the mermaid watches the ceremony, she remembers
Niggas in the window
she's
like-
warning that she will die if he
Yeah,
marries
nigga, it's
someone
going down
else.
in the
That night,
yard.
Her sisters rise from the sea with a desperate
She couldn't write that shit
plan to
down?
save her.
We're here
text
to
cuz.
save you, cried the eldest sister.
They hand her a dagger. If she ends the prince before dawn, the curse will break. She can return to the ocean as a mermaid. In order for her to live,
Shut
she
that
must
door.
end the life
Put
of
the
the one
caption
she
there.
loves.
It was either her life or his. She lowered the knife close to his heart, but then stopped.
But she can't do it. She throws the dagger into the sea and accepts her fate. As the sun rises the next morning, her body begins to fade away.
She thought she could feel
Are
her
you
body
serious?
dissolving into thousands of bubbles of sea foam. Soon, the Little Mermaid would be no more.
They tripping. I don't know shit about
It was a
this.
fairy tale. It was a story of sacrifice, pain, and sadness. If you grew up in the 2010s,
That's a
you
Romeo
probably know
Juliet
this
shit.
next cartoon, The Ice King. Adventure Time was a massive hit. It ranked second
I
on the
seen
list of
that,
10
but I wasn't
best Cartoon
watching
Network shows.
cartoons
It made
then,
the
nigga.
list
I was
of the greatest
17.
animated TV series.
I was
The
trying
show
to
was
watch
basically about
ass.
a
I
12-year-old
ain't
boy and
kept
a
to.
magical dog. Together,
I
they
was
drove
trying
the
to touch
land, righting wrongs and battling evil.
Yeah.
This chapter isn't
I was
about the
fake
heroes,
skating.
it's about the villain. The
At
Ice
the
King,
park
he was
with
an old man with a white beard
drinking
living
Four
in a
Locos,
frozen
Milldam
castle. To
Park.
understand the Ice King, there are two things you need to know. First, he desperately wanted a wife. Second, he kidnapped princesses across the land of Ooh, hoping one of them would marry him. On the surface, he was diabolical and strange, but the Ice King wasn't always a villain. His backstory revealed he was struggling with a curse.
Why he
His
kidnapping
backstory was
hoes?
revealed in season 3, episode 19 and 20.
Cuz
Years
just hit the
earlier, he
gym,
was
worked
known
on his
as
body,
Simon
got right.
Petrikov. Simon loved studying ancient artifacts, even had a fiancée named Betty. One day, Simon discovered an old crown.
After purchasing this crown
I'm saying anything to make these niggas sound lit.
I brought
He's a
it home
killer.
and excitedly showed my fiancée Betty.
The crown wasn't just
And
gold,
how he
it
go
was
from
a
that
curse.
to
When Simon
okay.
put the crown on his head, it took over. The crown gave him terrifying powers. He could summon blizzards and freeze anything. But the magic came with the cost. Every time he used the crown, it gradually drove him insane.
They jokingly put it on my head just for a laugh or something. And that's when it started. The visions. I fought with them. Shouted at them.
Can't nobody be mad 'cause y'all done put some shit on your head and got some powers. Y'all done
He
turned
started
up too.
voices, forgetting things and losing his
I
personality.
know I would've.
I know my mind is
Right to the back, freeze the air.
already too far gone to
In the
know
vault.
what to do.
Simon knew he was slipping from good to evil, and he couldn't stop it.
If I do things that hurt anyone, please forgive me.
Betty watched as Simon's mind fell apart. She couldn't take it. In the end, she left him. Without Betty, Simon had nothing left to fight for. The crown consumed him. That's when he fully transformed into the Ice King. This means the Ice King was never really a bad guy. He was a man suffering from the curse of the crown.
Just watch over me until I can find my way out of this labyrinth in my brain and regain my
You
sanity.
couldn't take
That
the
wasn't
crown off?
tragic enough. His fiancée abandoned him because of his condition. That's incredibly dark for a kid's show. The Ice King might just be one of the saddest characters ever written into a children's
Yeah, cuz went out like a
Up
bozo.
next is a character who made the impossible possible. Hercules. Here's something most people don't
Not
know.
my
Since
boy.
1950, there have been more than
Not my
50
boy.
films and TV shows.
You're not about to
about
tarnish his
Hercules.
name.
He also appeared in tons of video games, including God of War and Assassin's Creed. Hercules also appeared in books, comics, toys, and more.
What could Hercules have fucking did wrong?
Popular hero.
Wasn't he
in
around
history.
saving niggas?
In 1997, Disney made their own version. Their animated Hercules was a global hit. It made nearly $253 $3 million worldwide. For millions of kids, this was their first introduction to the character. But anyone who watched the cartoon got the wrong idea about Hercules.
Why?
Disney's Hercules was funny, noble, and kind. The real Hercules was cursed by the gods, tormented by madness, and haunted by guilt. The original story